You're on Joy News today. My name is Mama Viowusu. Now, residents of Cuckoo in the Bantama constituency of the Ashanti region say they have parked their cars to join commercial transport due to the deplorable roads in the community. Others who are able to afford four-wheel drives and other robust vehicles have switched from salon cars. Commercial vehicles, on the other hand, have increased their prices, citing high cost of maintaining their vehicles due to the poor nature of roads. Nana Yao Jima reports.
Cuckoo is a community situated close to the 4th Infantry Battalion complex in Kumasi. It holds promise in terms of commerce, but bad roads have impeded expected gains that should boost the local economy. 6 months ago, the assembly member for the area, through some individuals, spent over 3,000 cedis to make the roads motorable. Dust pollution from the roads has not only affected residents here, but has collapsed businesses, as these residents recount. It has become unprofitable to work here. When you produce a white window frame, it does not attract customers due to the dust. I sometimes leave work early because the dust can become unbearable.
Because of
our vehicles are always breaking down. The roads are bad. A bridge meant to link Cuckoo and Abrepo failed to see the light of day. The 4BN Boshain link would have reduced driving time, but sub-metro engineer for Bantama constituency, Peter Safo, says resources to undertake the project is a challenge.
32% are good ones, 68% they are bad roads, percentage-wise. Yeah, we know this will depend on the national budget. So normally what we do as a sub-metro engineer for the area, we'll prepare and do our bills and send it to our head office for approval. Maybe we have to get some funds from that place so that we'll do the roads, the network. Past 4 years, we did almost 1 kilometer. That's if you know Bantama Rivoli area, we did one there, and also old that's racecourse area, we did down about 0.5 kilometers. In total length is 1.2 kilometers on that area.
This came to light during a familiarization tour by a member of parliament for Bantama, Daniel Ochem Abuaje. He tells Love News poor roads in the constituency will be factored into the $1 million per constituency budget.
Roads are very bad. Sanitation is an issue. People are dying because of dust. You know, in these areas, Kokosu area and what do you call that, Watu area, when somebody is even delivering, if the woman is in labor, it's difficult to even find a car in the evening because nobody comes here. You know, as you can see, people dress in white, as you can see, going and they walk the streets and they have to cover their legs with polythene bags until they get to a place where they can have a tire road or something like that. So we are in Bantama constituency, but this is how everything looks. You know, and it's very bad. So we are appealing to the government, you know, to help us, you know, make sure we can take care of our problem. All the people that you see around me here are all honorable members in the assembly, you know, they were assembly members. And so what you see is that they invited me to come and join them to go and see the problem. What it means is that as if the $1 million per constituency should come, we should know what we are going to do with it. If it is a matter of roads, or if it's a matter of building some factory for the people or business development, as has been enlisted in the budget statement.
We stay still in Kumasi, where a consultant cardiologist with the Kumasi Teaching Hospital is warning of a greater risk of cardiovascular diseases amongst Ghanaians, especially middle-aged women. Dr. Isaac Kofiowusu says unhealthy lifestyles and eating habits are exposing more people to alarming heart-related diseases. He tells Inishira News heart conditions tops cases recorded at the Accident and Emergency Center of the Kumasi Teaching Hospital. Ohime Terrier has more on this.
A Kumasi Teaching Hospital and Guangdong General Hospital research has revealed Ghana has a double disease burden, cardiovascular and infectious diseases. The research examined 1,000 people in 4 regions. Dr. also says the findings show a worrying trend of high cardiovascular cases recorded in hospitals, especially in women.
Even in the north, many young women, middle-aged women, were found to have blocks in their arteries, otherwise known as arteriosclerosis, which is an evidence of cardiovascular disease.
He wants Ghanaians to pay more attention to what they eat and how to keep the body healthy.
Cardiovascular disease doesn't just come like that. You know, those who develop it have what we describe as the risk factors for cardiovascular disease. And research has shown that cardiovascular diseases are among diseases that can be prevented. One of the reasons why we are seeing more and more of cardiovascular diseases, you know, among Ghanaian population is that we've changed the way we eat. We call that nutritional transition. There has been nutritional transition, you know, over the years. And therefore education should go on for people to eat healthy, you know, diets and do regular physical exercise.
Leader of the Chinese team and a cardiologist, Professor Lin Chongjin, announced plans to establish a cardiovascular center at SCAT.
We hope when here built up the cardiac center in Guangdong, there are the Guangdong Cardiovascular Institute in Guangzhou. So I think two institutes can do the more cooperation in the future.
The Chinese team has donated medical equipment worth over $15,000 to the Komfanoche Teaching Hospital. From Kumasi, for Joy News, Ohiminteria reports.
Now, breaking cocoa pods to scoop out the beans on a large scale can be a rather Herculean task. In fact, labor-intensive and time-consuming. A farmer at Fomina in the Ashanti region has, however, designed a simple metallic tool to simplify this process. Kwesi Deborah has more.
In the Adansi North District, Ofori Chuneboa has been struggling to break his cocoa pods after harvesting. In the face of aging and weakening limbs, farm hands are difficult to come by. He devised this tool to make the task of getting cocoa beans out of piles of pods less burdensome. The machine has blades, one at the tip for cutting the tip of the pod, the other runs along the length of a lever supported by a metal base. The blades are positioned to ensure the beans are not destroyed in the process of sliding the pod open.
Well, it works in such a way that when we put the pot inside this thing, it will cut the head. At the same time, it cut the middle and then the one to down, so that it may not spoil the beans. At the same time, it will crack, but it won't spoil the beans.
Mr. Ofori hopes to improve on the present design to a bigger capacity to take 5 or more pods at a time.
So we are going to make it in such a way that it can crack about 10 or more than one at a time.
The Technology Consultancy Center of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology is providing technical support. The center also looks to assist Mr. Ofori to commercialize the technology. Dr. Michael Jalu is the center's director.
After developing these prototypes, there's a need to improve upon the prototypes so that they can be acceptable on the market, to make them more marketable. And again, as part of our impact, our way of mentoring our artisans in the Swami magazine, we are bringing them here to take them through the training, and then they themselves will improve upon the equipment that we give to them. Now, when they have done it, they have gained the skills, number one. They have been able to improve upon themselves, and then at the end of the day, they have something also to for commercialization, something to sell.
Reporting for Joy News, Kwesi Deborah.
Now, customs officials in the Ashanti region have impounded 5 trucks full of smuggled high-duty food products and electronic gadgets in Kumasi. The action revealed an attempt to evade almost $1 million Ghana cedis in duties and taxes to the state in the month of March alone. Prince Appiah has more in the following report.
Customs officials of the Kumasi unit say 3 trucks loaded with vegetable cooking oil were diverted from the Flao Konokrom transit route to a warehouse on the Barakesi Kumasi road. They were running from almost 100,000 Ghana cedis in duties and taxes. ACP Kwesi Ahiakpo is regional commander of Customs, Excise and Preventive Unit of the Ghana Revenue Authority.
On one of the trucks had a foreign registration from La Côte d'Ivoire and 2 Ghanaian registration. So we had to send a second task force. When we got in there, they realized one of the trucks had parked, and there were 2 light trucks parked by the side closely, and they were lifting gallons of trade key cooking oil, 25 liters per gallon, onto the light trucks whilst they were offloading others into the warehouse. So the task forces closed in on them. As for the documents, there was no documentation, nothing to be produced, and one of the vehicles decided to speed off. And we had to chase for at least after about a kilometer before we intercepted it and brought it back. So yes, it is true, these 3 articulated trucks were carrying cooking oil, very expensive, high-duty items. We have to redouble our efforts, and we are not going to allow these loopholes. We have to, as much as possible, try and seal all these loopholes. But I can tell you, cooking oil, big money. 3 trucks. If I should attempt it, I do not think you will get anything less than 60,000 Ghana on one. Yeah. That is just duties before imposition of penalty.
Now let's go back to our story in Mamfi, Kumasi, where school authorities at the Senior High Technical School in the Central Tong District of the Volta region are renting machines and other technical tools to teach students. The school's workshop is full of faulty machines which cannot be used for daily practical lessons. Headmaster of the school, Carriage Metaku, laments the phenomenon has greatly affected delivery of quality training of technical students. Is therefore called on governments and other benevolent institutions to help fix the faulty machines and also stock the school's workshops with some more equipment.
Mafi Kumasi Senior High Technical School was established in 1983 as a community's second cycle institution, and it currently has a student population of 722. The school, which was previously offering only technical courses, now runs some non-technical courses in order to admit more students. However, all machinery and technical tools in the school's carpentry workshop provided 25 years are now faulty. The school's management have been improving on rented equipment for both carpentry and bricklaying practical lessons. Zoto Lololi is a second-year technical student.
That one, sometimes we are having another subject. We have to go to town for our learning, like we are having woodwork. We are not having the machine for cutting some of the distance for us. We have to go to the town for cutting that type of the wood for working. So that time we lose something like 4 or 5 periods. So that's affecting our lesson.
Though the school had witnessed some infrastructure development over the last period, it lacks practical equipment at the science laboratory, while teachers managed to make the best use of an under-equipped information communication technology laboratory. The school was allocated a 12-unit 2-story classroom block under the Schools Under Trees Emergency Intervention Program and a 800-capacity girls' dormitory. Construction of a dining assembly hall in a 12-unit 2-story classroom block are also underway. Nonetheless, the contractor in charge of the dining hall and classroom project has since left site after the 2016 general elections. The school has only 2 staff bungalows housing the headmaster and the senior housemaster. It is also indebted to the water and electricity companies to the tune of 40,000 Ghana cedis. The headmaster, Courage Metaku, appealed to government to construct a mechanized borehole facility for the school to reduce expenditure on utility.
Have accommodation. Only the headmaster is accommodated on the compound. So it means the headmaster will have to be going out night, doing the patrolling at dawn, ensuring that the students are up. The boys do not have a housemaster permanently resident with them. But for the girls, we have 2 house mistresses in the dormitory with them. So with them, we don't have much challenge. The senior housemaster is resident outside. So the headmaster will have to be doing the senior housemaster's work in his absence. So we are planning and pleading that the government will come to our aid by giving us staff flat. Our land is very small, so we cannot be talking about bungalows. We don't have the luxury of bungalows. But if they can help us with flats, it will help.
The school, which would celebrate its 35 years anniversary in May, is ranked among lowest performing second cycle institutions in Ghana. But Mr. Metaku hinted of implementing some intervention to improve academic performance.
Other friends in other schools, oversubscribed schools, for example, Bishop Herman, are willing to come down to polish the students for the examination. So with this arrangement in place, we know we will be succeeding. Some of the innovation we've also brought is we are trying to have exchange programs considering PASEC, Bishop Herman, and some other oversubscribed schools. We tend, for example, if it is 10 students from final year class, maybe you go to this school, stay there for maybe a month, have that education there, you come back. And we believe this will also take that inferiority complex out of our students.
Kumasi Senior High Technical School is noted for its splendid performance at senior high school choral festivals in the country. Fred Kwame Asari's report for Joy News.
You're watching Joy News today. Stay with us. We've got some business news coming up right after this.